Hello, this is Geoff with In-Depth Studies. Today I'm beginning a new series on my thoughts on New Covenant theology, Geoff's thoughts on NCT. We're going to begin with 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 19 to 21. The subject is law. Paul says this, and he's giving his strategy in sharing his faith with Jews and Gentiles. And he says this, "Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law, the Jews, I became like one under the law, though I myself am not under the law, so as to win those under the law. To those not having the law," that's the Gentiles, "I became like one not having the law, though I am not free from God's law, but am under Christ's law, so as to win those not having the law." What's he saying? He's saying very clearly that I am no longer under the Mosaic law. The Mosaic law was the version of God's law that was tied to the old covenant to Israel. So that covenant comes to an end at the cross. Now we live in the new covenant era. There's a different version of law, and the Apostle Paul calls it the law of Christ. That is, Paul is very clear, I'm not under the Mosaic law, but I'm not without law. I am under Christ's law. So we have these two different eras, the Old Covenant era with Israel and the New Covenant era. Both of them had a version of God's law. The Old Covenant is going to have the Mosaic law. The New Covenant era is going to have the law of Christ. So God's character doesn't change, but his version of law does change. What was sinful in one era is not necessarily sinful in the other era. So this is a beginning of our discussion about law. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.